Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Well, hello, everybody. How are you today? And welcome to our next episode. I am Gabriella, and this is GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. And today, oh my goodness, I am bringing to you an awesome and amazing expert. Hey, Shawn, how are you today?
Great, Gab. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I am so delighted. You and I have had several really deep conversations, and I'm just so impressed with who you are, what you do, and what you bring to the community. So let's jump in. And my first question to you is, please share with our audience what it is that you are an expert in.
I am, in summary, I'm an inclusion architect. And so what that means is that I'm an expert in making things accessible, inclusive for all.
That's amazing. And you and I had a really deep dive conversation in how it is that you wound up getting here and what your background was. I think our audience would really benefit from hearing from you, your backstory that got you to where you are today.
Yeah, it's with most people, our professional and personal lives kind of intertwine. And I had been in the enterprise level web development space for my career. On a personal side, I love live music. That's my jam. And it was at a live music event where my actual purpose and my actual drive stemmed from was I refer to it as the magic bubble moment. So when the energy from the crowd and the energy from the stage connect, and this sense of community and this energy that happens from that. And I was in that magic bubble moment. I had probably 40 friends around me, and it was, for whatever reason, hundreds and hundreds of shows later, the ADA section suddenly took focus for me. And I started questioning why it was so limiting, why it was so exclusive, why it was not inclusive, why it separated people based upon abilities. And it kind of, that whole thing brought about my nonprofit, Shine Music, which is to bring awareness to the needs for accessibility in the live music industry. And then the pivoting of my company, Mazzaro, from enterprise level web development to web and digital accessibility. So that's where the kind of, it suddenly was not such a huge, stark difference between my nonprofit and my for-profit. It was really just about building things that were inclusive for all.
So before we started this interview, you and I were having a conversation, and you actually shared with me that you just completed a huge amount of hours and received a very significant and quite impressive certificate designation. Can you share that with our audience?
Yes, it was over about 125 hours for this course. It's through the Department of Homeland Security, Office of Accessible Systems and Technology, and I received my Trusted Tester certification. And what that means is that I can provide an actual validation that is legally standing to prove that a website is accessible.
That's something that a lot of people don't actually have. And you and I were going over several sites, and we were discussing the different layers and levels of accessibility. And I think it's really crucial that people understand how important this is. So I'm going to ask you now, one of the things we always ask our experts in our interview is, tell us about a major influence that helped you to wind up getting here to where you are. I know you had that experience at the concert. Is there any person or website or quote that really was a turning point for you, that inspired you?
Well, I mean, I think we all kind of 2020, right? Some of the good that came out of it was that our eyes were opened up, right? Blinders were removed, and of course, there's Judy Huemann and like she's my, she's my Oprah, as it relates to just learning. I listen to her podcast, and she just wrote a new book, and learning about the accessibility and why it's important. And so it's interesting. There's really not a lot of heroes in that space that are well or are widely known. And thankfully, we have Judy, who's been leading that march since 45 years ago is when the sit-ins happened for the ADA laws. So,
Right.
isn't that long ago.
That's when I was a little girl, but when we look at how old as a country we are and how far we've come, yeah, it isn't that long, and yet it feels like a lifetime. And the amount of growth that we've had as a culture and a society is just phenomenal. And I think we are all very lucky to have people just like you and like Judy amongst us to continue helping us get even further in our growth. Hello, hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and say thank you to our sponsors. It is through the generous support of these sponsors that we are able to bring to you these amazing experts that are sharing their best tips for your success. So please listen to what our sponsors have to say, and hopefully they're going to inspire you that you're going to click their links and go support them.
This is Tony Stark Polici, copywriter, marketing consultant, and author. And I have a question for you. If you could take $20 and turn it into 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or 100,000, would you do it? Well, you can. And it's not through gambling. It's not investing in the stock market. It's by buying this book. That's right, my book. This was voted number 9 out of the top 100 best copywriting books ever written, and I wrote it for you, for business owners, to help you write better emails, better sales copy, better advertisement, to communicate better in all of your marketing and business communications. This book will change your business and your life. Try it. You're going to love it.
You've all heard, and you know how powerful it is to send thank you cards, notes of appreciation, and gifts that build and maintain relationships. However, writing and sending generic impersonal greetings and gifts one by one just is so overwhelming and takes so much time. Not to mention, these days, who wants to deal with lines at the post office, running out of stamps, or having to print stamps yourself? And then there's the embarrassment of missing an important date altogether. Yikes. So what can you do? If you go to marketyourbiz.guru, you will be able to get help with your greetings and gifts that are printed, stamped, stuffed, and mailed automatically for you. Make sure that you tell them Gabriella sent you. So I'm going to ask you, we have some of our audience is younger and just getting started in business. If you were able to go talk to them or back to your younger self, what one tip would you give to help get closer to success and expertise that much faster?
I think that when we're younger and we're starting out, right, we're very ambitious, and fundamentally, what are we all wanting? We're wanting money. And sometimes that fear of losing that money prevents us from speaking out about our truth. Mm-hmm. Someone asked me once on a podcast, how do you know that this is your purpose? And I said, when you're willing to risk everything for it. Mm-hmm. When you have that inside, you really need to follow it. It'll continue to chase you down. So you might as well just right out of the gate, follow that purpose, follow that drive, follow that voice in your head.
I love it. That is such a great piece of advice for people that are just starting out. I think that we should all follow our inner compass like that. Absolutely. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor to you to just share with our audience some of your absolute very best tips and advice to help them to be more successful and be experts in what they do.
Well, outside of the, following your purpose and following your drive, because what I do around being an inclusion architect, right, is that what I have found over the course of the last, 3+ years now, is that when you take inclusivity into mind at the very beginning. So as you're building out a business, as you're building out a website, as you're building out a plan or an event, if you just include accessibility in that, it's not as difficult as you may think that it is. It's when you have to go back, when you have to go backwards, it takes a lot more effort and a lot more money. So, fundamentally, I can you just imagine what the world would be like if even half of the businesses took that into account and made, you work hard for your brand and your services and your products. Why would you ever want to disclude anyone from utilizing this, from participating in that? So just, thinking about it, that's what we did with Shine, right? How do we make a music festival without an ADA section?
Right.
We just did. We just went down systematically through all the things, and we learned so much. It wasn't until maybe a month before last year's event when we realized that individuals that perhaps have mobility issues, maybe Parkinson's, need to have lids or straws with their drinks. Like, did not think about that at all. And so, we were really fortunate. Pepsi jumped in and provided us the lids and the straws to make sure that we have that available for the guests that needed them. So it's not difficult. You just kind of have to think and know that you're not going to be perfect at it. It's not going to be perfect. There's no, it's a learning, and we learn every day, and new advancements and new technologies help make it easier. So just paying attention and just keep that at the very, very forefront of your thoughts, and you can't help but succeed.
I'm just blown away. I love our conversations. That's such.
I love talking to you.
Thank you. That's really great advice. I mean, if I could encapsulate all of the things that everybody says when we have these interviews and just tell everybody, if you try, you can't help but succeed, is probably my favorite, one of my absolute favorite pieces of advice of all of them. Because, mindset matters is such a huge thing in success. That's why GabTalks is mindset matters, right? So the mindset of just trying is massive. So
That's it. Just try.
yeah,
That's it. It doesn't, in trying, no one's expecting anybody to be perfect.
right.
At the end of the day, is, did you try?
Yeah, for sure. On each episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts, we like to highlight a hero sponsor who is a business that chooses to highlight a do-good organization in their own community that is bettering the world. Today's hero sponsor is...
Hello, I'm Dr. Anna Maria Blevin, founder and CEO of Prosperity Pathways, LLC. We get people their jobs of their dreams. We help them start a business or organization, and we even help them along their career pathway. It gives me great pleasure to bring to your attention and honor the hero of the moment, Onward and Upward. Onward and Upward does everything in its power to help those that are homeless, without jobs, without the use of their own computer, get back on their feet. They help people learn what it is that they need to do to get an online job, to get an on-site job. So Onward and Upward is giving a hand up to those that need it. Their website, onwardupwardinc.org. Get in touch with them if you need their help or if you would like to support them. Again, this is Dr. Anna Maria Blevin, founder and CEO of Prosperity Pathways, wishing you a blessed day.
So listen, I think that everybody needs to talk to you. And in order for that to happen, you need to share with us where they can reach out to you. And you guys, the links will be down below in the show notes and in the description. So please reach out to Shawn. Will you share with our audience where they can find you?
Yeah, so Mazzaro.com is one way if you want to learn about web or digital accessibility. And if you have events, if you're maybe, whether you're a nonprofit or a for-profit, whatever it is, and you have events and you would like assistance on making those more accessible for all, you can reach us at shinemusic.rocks. And we do on there, you'll have a contact form, and just reach out and let us know. We're here to help you and share the wealth of information that we've gathered over the last 3 years.
Absolutely. So we will have social media links for you for LinkedIn. We'll have your digital business card and your websites in the show notes and in the description below so that people can click on them and go directly to you. You mentioned also when we were talking that you do have an offer for our audience. Will you share with them what that is?
Absolutely. If anybody's listening and wanting to know, well, is my website accessible? We'll do a free web accessibility audit for you. It's about sharing, educate, right? Communication is education. And so we just will communicate with you about ways, what your website stats are now and ways that you can fix that. And that's free of charge. You do not need to utilize us to adhere to or to make any of those changes. You can give that information right off to your web developer and they can run with that as well. So we're happy to just make the web and the world more inclusive, one accessibility assessment at a time.
Yes, absolutely. So there will be a link for the offer below to reach out and get the review of your site and its accessibility. And that'll be a separate link. So make sure you go down below, check out the links, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the reminder so that you get notified when our next episode is coming out. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.